All right, so welcome back to another video here. And in the last video, we were able to implement creating tweets like this. And in this one, we are going to go over and kind of style our homepage and stuff. However, I did realize that we have 0 ways of logging out right now. So right now we're having to inspect our element and everything and then clear the token manually. And obviously that is not ideal. So today we're going to be implementing some log out functionality and clearing that token. So let's get right into that. All right, so just to start off, a little bit of housekeeping here. I want you to come into primary.css and we're going to get rid of this left div right here. So right now, just go like this and comment it out. And we might be using this again later, but for right now, we're just going to get rid of that, and that'll become apparent later on for our styling. And now I want you to, I've added a couple files here, one called logout.css. And it just has some basic styles here. Of course, the link will be in the description in the GitHub repo. So you can go ahead and copy that down or go to the GitHub for that. And then the other thing is this logout modal. So right now we have some custom modal styles for our normal modal, but this one's going to be slightly different. So we have some different styles for it. All right, so go ahead and add those, and yeah, and then we'll get into actually coding this up. All right, so we need to create a logout component, and we're going to put this at the bottom here, but we haven't made this yet. So come into your components folder, add a new file, and we'll call it logout.tsx. All right, so then come in here and we're going to go RFC here, and that's going to give us a functional component to start out. Okay, so that is good. And now let's just start bringing in some different stuff. So let's go const history, and that's going to be equal to use history. Okay, and then we need to bring that in. Okay, so bring that in there. And this is going to be used because we're going to redirect after we log out our token, because we don't want to stay on the same page, because that will not work. And then we're going to have a few other things. So we can actually go and copy some of this modal stuff over from a different component here. So let's look in here. What do we got? We got a modal here. So we can, this open and close modal, let's copy those over. And just paste that a little room a little below here. And then this state is also going to be copied over there. So this can go up top. Copy that over. Yeah, and then we can actually copy our actual modal here. So let's copy this over and put it in here too. And we'll just put it down here, and then let's close off the modal there. Okay, so that's good for that. We'll bring all that stuff in a minute. We got to bring in use state. Let's just go command dot, and we can add all missing imports there. Speed things up a little bit here. Now we have to do our me query here. So let's go like this, and we'll just type this out actually. So let's go const, and we're gonna go loading, again error, and data, and that is equal to use query, and we'll bring that in here, and then we're gonna pass in the me query here. So me underscore query, and we can bring that in. So that's great. And then the same thing as always. So if it's loading, we will return p tag here, and we'll say loading with a triple dot, and then we'll copy that down here, and we can say if error, and we can actually go like this and say error dot message as usual. Close that off. Okay, so that's looking good. So I guess next, let's come down a little bit here, and let's actually do our handling of our logout. So give yourself a little bit of room here. Scroll up a bit, and let's go const handle logout. Okay, and then we'll go equal, and this is going to be an async function. Async, and that is going to be an arrow function. Okay, and then in here, we actually want to remove our token, because that's basically all that's going to consist, all our logout's going to consist of is just removing the token that we've added to our local storage. So we can go like this, local storage dot remove item, and then we pass in the item we want to remove, which for us we called token. Of course, we could have called it whatever we wanted. And then, so we're going to remove that token there. And now this is where we want to use the history.push, because we don't want to stay on the same page there. So history.push, and then we're going to push them back to the login route that we have created. Okay, so that's good. Go ahead and save that. That is looking good. And now the last stuff we got to do is kind of create our actual logout button or whatever we want to do. And that's going to be inside this modal. But let's just code this up. So I'll probably just code this up. We'll speed it up and then I'll go over it. All right, so that looks good. Let's go over this a little bit here. We're bringing in a few things. So we have to bring in our modal, make sure we're doing that. We already brought in our use history here. Make sure you're bringing your styles from logout.css and as well your logout modal. Okay, so that's good. And then basically we just have some markup here. So we have a logout class name here to wrap in our entire div here. Then we have our open modal. This is going to be a span. And inside our H4 here, we're going to have an image, which is just our avatar. And then we're going to have a span with our data.name. This is why we need to bring in the me query here. And then we just have an ellipses as an icon there. So this is what we're going to click on. So we're going to click on this span. It's going to open up our modal. So that's this on click open modal here. Great. And then we just have our modal here. We've absolute positioned it at the bottom of the screen. What else? And then in here is our actual handle logout. So this span, if we click on this, it's going to handle our logout. And it's going to say our logout is our data.me.name is what we're clicking on there. Okay, so that is good. Let's go over to the left nav and actually add it to the component. All right, so now we're in our left nav and we want to actually add it to the bottom. So we're going to go right below the tweet here and let's go log out, import that automatically, and then let's go ahead and save this. And that should do it for us. So let's go check this out. Great, so that's looking okay. This is at the bottom. Obviously, it's not styled perfectly, but for how sloppy this is, that'll have to do. So basically, we want to remove the token. So maybe let's open up here and go inspect. So we'll go to application right here. Let's bump this up for you. A little bit too much. So this is the token that we want to be removed when we click on this. So hopefully this will work here. Maybe give ourselves a little more room and hopefully this will be removed. Okay, so we're going to click on here. It's going to show our modal here and it says logout at Darwin, which is us. So we click this, hopefully this gets removed. Let's see. So you can see this gets removed and we are redirected to our login page. And again, that is over here. Let's go to our logout component. And this is basically our entire handle logout. We're just removing that token and redirecting to the login page. Anyways, that's it for kind of how to log out and remove our item with local storage here. In the next one, we're going to actually style our homepage and get our tweets showing and that sort of thing. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching.